Union-10 for Object 279. This is probably one of the easiest missions of the entire 279 campaign because you have to block damage with Russian tanks. And nobody has ever claimed that Russian tanks don't have enough armor. We need to block 15,000 damage within 10 battles, so 1,500 per battle. And if we want to get the secondary done, which I did here, we need to block 17,000 damage. Now, I did this in 5 battles, and I needed 600 damage in the 5th battle. So, I mean, this is just silly easy. To do this, I used a combination of the Tier 10 Russian heavies, the IS-7, and the campaign tank, the Object 260. They're interchangeable here. I used the 260 because it just buffed it, and I wanted to give it a try, and did some amazing stuff with it, and you're going to see that in a second. But really, I mean, the turret of these two tanks are pretty awesome. If you don't have a 260, don't worry about it, because the IS-7 is just as good. I think the only downside here is you're probably going to be the focus of Artie, and if you run into like a Type 4 or Type 5, they're just going to be spamming HE at you. But even on the worst of games, you're going to average 1,700 block damage, so don't really worry about it. The equipment doesn't matter here. I ran rammer, gun laying drive, and vents. I think my Object 260 setup is just slightly different, but this is the right setup for this, in my opinion. Make sure you have the 2 repair kits, because you're definitely going to get tracked quite a bit doing this, and obviously run first aid. So a couple of good alternatives if you don't have any Russian heavies. I mean, do this in Russian heavies, you just get it done. But the Object 2684 that has, you know, mindless armor, just run up to the front lines and cover your lower plate. Even if you don't cover your lower plate, you're just going to block a ton of stuff. And if you don't have any Russian heavies, you happen to have the Chinese equivalent, the WZ-111-5A is great. Turret is not as strong as, say, the IS-7, but it's definitely workable. I've blocked 5 or 6K easy in those tanks. If you don't have any of those, use a Russian medium, because you're still going to block a bunch of damage. You still have 10 battles to do this in. So this is, I'm going to speed this up really fast, because this actually took quite a while. My first 2 battles, I blocked about 3K each with the IS-7. So again, you know, gonna get this done twice as fast as you need to. But then I took out the Object 260 because I wanted to see what the turret was like, and I got mines, and I just ran up the 4 line on the hill. And I just used this little depression, and other than the Sheraton that hit me from the rear somehow, this was just a silly, easy spot to farm block damage from. There's just no way that these guys are going to pen my turret, quite frankly, unless they hit the very, very slimmest of angles on the very top. They're just not going to pen me. Now, what you're trying to do here, obviously, is just bait them into shooting at you. I mean, this E100, you know, thankfully he was there, because he probably gave me half of the damage that I blocked. So, thanks to him. The only threat here is if they decide to actually push up on you, your lower plate is going to be exposed. You're not going to be able to stop all of these tanks. But as long as they stay low on that side, things are just going to continue to work out in this position. Now, I could have done this exact same thing in the IS-7, or probably really any of the Russian heavies, and the 2684 and WZ-111-5A. They would probably do the exact same thing in this position. So don't think you need a 260 to do this. You just need to get this particular position in this particular map. So as you can see, you know, I've already blocked half of the primary just in this one match, and have a little bit of block damage left to go here in this match. But this is what you need, is just find the hold down position on whatever map you happen to get, and just sit there. The only downside is like this little lull here. You know, nobody was shooting at me, so it kind of took away from the maximum amount, and I think that might have been the last shot that I blocked before this IS decided enough was enough, and he was just going to charge me. So the next battle, this was the fourth battle. I ran in the IS-7. I ran 4 of the 5 battles in the IS-7. You see there the 2 shots that came in, completed it because I didn't need a lot to carry me forward. And in fact, I left this battle just shy of completing the secondary. And again, this is the 4th battle out of 10 to get this done. So that's how easy this mission is to do. Again, just find the hold down spot here on Erlenberg. This is a pretty common spot to sit hold down. Even the Type 4 that's over there has trouble actually doing damage on me. I think he hits me 3 times in this engagement, and he hits my gun every single time. And unfortunately, blocked HE damage doesn't count because I think the shots were like 1,100 or something like that I was blocking for this guy with my gun. So. But just be patient. I mean, the blocked will come. The primary is already complete here, and then it's just a question of any secondary that happens. I left this a little short to complete the secondary, but that's okay. It was like 600 damage short because of that fire, unfortunately. I'm not going to show you the last match because it's 2 blocked shots to get the secondary done. So that's Union-10. Sort of a mindless mission because of all the armor options that you have in the Russian and Chinese trees. You can do it with heavies, mediums, TDs, whatever you need to do it with. You're going to get the primary and secondary done. I think a couple things. Know the hold down positions on the maps before you go in. You probably know them already because you've been playing this game so long. Just know what those spots are and just go there and just be patient. Make your presence known. You obviously don't want to be in a position where you're unspotted or unlit. You want to be spotted if you need to. Fire off your gun, reduce your camo, wobble back and forth. Whatever you need to do to get lit, just get lit. And make sure that you have people pointing at you. And if they're not pointing at you, just bait them by firing at them. People just, I mean, they want to return fire. So if you fire at them, they're probably going to fire back. Even if you fire, not even intending to hit them, just fire so that they see that you fired. You have no shell in your gun, and then they can safely poke around and shoot at you. Right. So just make sure that they know that it's safe to poke and bait them around to get some shots on you. You want to avoid doing as much damage as possible. The last thing you want to do is fire HE because you'll probably get HE back. But avoid doing as much damage because you're not there to kill them. You're just there to farm their shells. Right. And the other thing is if someone has their gun in a position where they can shoot you, track them if it's possible, because if they're just permanently tracked, guess what? They're going to try to shoot you. And as long as you're not doing a massive amount of damage to them, they'll just continue to shoot you. So track if possible. It's probably one of the easier ways to bait people into actually shooting at you. So this is a trivial mission, guys. You'll get this done without any effort whatsoever. So good luck on this one, and I will see you on the next one.